Hello. So, I'm often asked, how do you become a real estate appraiser? In this video, I'm going to discuss exactly that. I am responding to a video made by David Train on his channel. David is an appraiser trainee located in Oregon. He gives a general, excellent explanation regarding the steps for real estate appraisal. However, in this video, I'm going to give you the specific steps that you will need to take in order to become a real estate appraiser. In the description and the link below, I will leave you links to different organizations that you can go to that will give you also the information that you will need to become a real estate appraiser. In addition to that, on my channel, I have videos that discuss other issues in the real estate appraisal industry. So, in this video, I am going to tell you what the educational and experience requirements are to become an appraiser at each level of licensure, and there are 3 levels of licensure. Again, the rules and regulations to become a real estate appraiser come from the Appraisal Board Foundation. The Appraisal Board Foundation was founded in 1987 as a reaction to the debacle of the savings and loan crisis. In 1987, approximately 3,300 savings and loan institutions, those were financial institutions that were making mortgages and auto loans, many of them which were subprime, typical to the real estate crisis that occurred in 2008, although technically it actually started in 2004. The public was not informed about it until it reached crisis level in 2008. So, in 1987, the stakeholders involved in real estate appraisal, which were the financial institutions, accountants, lawyers, and the state regulatory boards, came into existence because we needed to have a way where there was a clear criterion regarding who could appraise properties, what kind of properties they could appraise, and what the rules and regulations would be regarding the appraisal of those properties. Underneath the Appraisal Board Foundation is the Appraiser Qualifications Subcommittee. This is the committee who determines the qualifications to become a real estate appraiser. Once these qualifications are agreed to, they become the minimum standards for real estate appraisers in the United States. These qualifications are often, and 99.9% of the time, they are adopted at the state level. So, if you want to become a real estate appraiser, your first licensure must come from your state of residency. So, for example, I am a real estate appraiser in the state of Missouri. My name is 𝐾𝐲. I have been practicing for 23 years. I am an independent fee appraiser. That means I do not work for anyone. I work for a specific client. My purpose is to bring an objective perspective regarding valuation of residential real estate to the parties involved in the transaction, be they a financial institution, a governmental entity, or a home buyer, or a home seller. Okay, let's talk about the first level of licensure, and I'm going to go over 3 because there are 3 levels of licensure that a candidate may obtain in the real estate appraisal industry. The first one is a licensed appraiser. The educational requirements for a licensed appraiser according to the Appraisal Qualifications Subcommittee, and these are minimum standards. In addition, again, check with your state because there may be additional standards on top of the standards required by the Appraisal Qualifications Board. So, for a licensed appraiser, that individual must have 150 classroom hours in specific real estate subjects as designated by your state licensing board. The experience requirements are the individual must have 1,000 experience hours within a 6-month time frame. Okay? Now, the second level is a certified residential appraiser. For a certified residential appraiser, you must have 175 classroom hours, and you must have 1,500 hours of experience. Those 1,500 hours must be obtained in no less than 12 months. The third level is a certified general appraiser. A certified general appraiser must have 300 classroom hours, and they must have 3,000 experience hours, of which 1,500 of the 3,000 must be in the appraisal of commercial property. So because a certified general real estate appraiser can appraise residential properties as well as commercial properties. Now, in all three categories of licensure, an appraiser must be competent. You must be competent about the subject matter that you are appraising, and you must be competent about the market or understanding of the market in which you are appraising that the property resides in. So I have given you the education and the experience requirements for the 3 levels of appraiser licensure. Now I'm going to talk to you about what you can appraise when you obtain those 3 levels of licensure. A licensed real estate appraiser can appraise a single-family residence that is valued no more than $1 million. That appraiser can appraise multifamily properties, be it a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, whose value is $400,000 or less. A certified residential appraiser can appraise a single-family residence irregardless of the valuation. So a certified residential appraiser can appraise a property with a value of $1 up to infinity. The same is true for the certified residential appraiser can appraise a duplex, a triplex, or fourplex. However, there are no restrictions on the value. Now, the third level is a certified general appraiser, which I have alluded to. A certified general appraiser can appraise residential property regardless of the value, and they also appraise commercial property. A residential property is considered commercial when it is a 6-plex or more. So, that is the appraisal criterion that is used to determine what one can do when one obtains their license. Now I want to talk a little bit more about how you go about getting experience. So the experience that I have discussed within this video that an appraiser must acquire in order to obtain their license, you must receive it under another appraiser. There are two ways. You must receive it under another appraiser who becomes your supervisor, that signs off on your work, or you may get it through a practicum, and I will discuss a practicum a little bit further in this video. But I want to discuss the importance of your education. When you go to your state board to determine what your qualifications are, make sure that you are aware of the educational institutions that particular state has said is accredited. In other words, you want to make sure when you go to the state board, you will see a list of schools that they will accept education from. Make sure that you take that education from those institutions that they will accept. Because if you take your educational courses from an institution that is not recognized by the state board in your state, you may have taken that education in vain, because they do not have to accept it. Now, once you have taken your education and you have found a supervisor or a mentor who is willing to train you to help you get your experience requirements, you and that supervisor will need to keep a log of your work. The reason why you will need to keep a log of your work is because that work must be submitted to the state board that you intend to get your licensure. So after you complete your educational requirements and you complete your experience requirements, you submit that log to the state board, and the state board reviews it, and they will pick cases in which you will have to submit all of your documentation. And when they say all, they want all. That is called a case file. They will ask you to submit your case file. Once they review that and they agree that you have obtained the necessary experience, your next step is you must take and pass a written examination, which is administered by the state board in the state that you plan on getting your residency. So, in this video, I have told you specifically how you become a real estate appraiser. I have told you the body that governs real estate appraisers. And I have told you how and what you need to watch out for when you are taking your courses. Now I want to go a little bit more in depth about a practicum. There are approximately 80,000 appraisers in the United States who are still practicing. The majority of appraisers in the United States are over the age of 50. In 2008, when the housing crisis occurred, another law came into effect, which is called the Dodd-Frank Law. The Dodd-Frank Law sought to put arm's length distance between those which ordered an appraisal, those which ordered an appraisal, and those which completed the appraisal. So, it sought to put arm's length distance between, say, for a bank having the right to have direct contact with the appraiser and order the appraisal, because it was not seen to be transparent. So, a third party came into play. This third party is called an appraisal management company. So, for example, if I want to do work for a lender, most lenders when they are ordering an appraisal, they have a relationship with an appraisal management company. Many appraisers sign up to be on the panel of these appraisal management companies because that is now how, when financial transactions occur, the majority of us receive work. That appraisal management company takes a percentage of the real estate fee. So here's the process. A bank orders an appraisal. They contact an appraisal management company so that the appraisal management company can contact the appraiser to complete the appraisal. The bank may pay the appraisal management company, and it's not unusual on a closing statement to see a real estate appraisal fee of over $500. Often it's $800 to $1,000. However, the appraiser does not get the amount of money that is seen on the closing statement because the appraisal management company takes a portion of that fee. So when I am contacted by an appraisal management company and I complete an appraisal, I send it in to the appraisal management company. The appraisal management company also has real estate appraisers on staff that review that appraisal to make sure that it meets the requirements of that financial institution. That is the typical process when an appraisal is ordered. So as I have stated, a portion of my fee has now been taken by a third party. Therefore, I have to be absolutely honest with you and let you know it is difficult to find a real estate appraiser who is willing to train a trainee. And a lot of it is due to this. I don't expect anyone to work for free. When I was in training, I didn't. I had a family to support and responsibilities like everybody else. This is an intense situation where when you learn, one thing builds upon another. It's not a situation where you can get your experience a little here and a little there. It's something you have to make a commitment to, and you have to stay consistent. So most people cannot afford to work with an appraiser where they cannot make a decent living. On top of that, as I have told you, the experience requirements are 1,000 to 3,000 hours, depending upon what you're going to do. So if you are you intend to come in on the first ring as a licensed appraiser and you have to do 1,000 hours in 6 months, that's roughly 5 appraisals a week. And you're not giving yourself any time for a learning curve. And the learning curve, in order to understand the databases and the software and all the things involved in real estate appraisal, is time consuming. So it is difficult. Now, as a reaction and a way to overcome this difficulty, the Appraisal Board Foundation has come up with something called 𝐼REA. 𝐼REA is a practical application of real estate appraisal. This is in lieu of experience. A certain amount of this may be done in order to qualify for in lieu of the experience. However, not every state has adopted 𝐼REA. So again, it is imperative, if you intend to pursue a real estate appraisal career, that you contact the licensing board in your state regarding real estate appraisers. And they will tell you exactly which schools that they will accept experience from, in lieu of from. So, the one thing I want to leave you with is this as well. I've told you that I told you why the Appraisal Foundation was founded. The Appraisal Foundation determines the qualifications necessary to become a real estate appraiser. I have said this repeatedly in this video. In addition to that, they also determine the standards that one must meet when performing a real estate appraisal. These standards are called Uniform Practice of Real Estate Appraisal. They are called 𝐒𝐴𝐜𝐵. It's commonly referred to the industry as 𝐒𝐴𝐵. Uniform Standards of Real Estate Practice, 𝐒𝐴𝐵. Those are the rules and regulations that whether you are a personal property appraiser and a personal property appraiser, I discussed the different types of appraisers because within the real estate industry, even though there's 3 levels of licensure, real estate appraisers are in different industries. So, a personal property appraiser is an appraiser who appraises artwork, and they may appraise furniture, they may appraise antiques, antiquities. That is a personal property appraiser. So a personal property appraiser, a real estate appraiser, an individual who appraises businesses, does business valuation. When businesses are bought and sold, they fall under the Appraisal Foundation. We all must adhere to the Uniform Standards of Real Estate Appraisal Practice, or 𝐒𝐴𝐵. So, if you found this information valuable, please think about subscribing, like, and share. I am willing to make a video regarding what interests you. So please comment below, and please check in the description where I leave links to the Appraisal Foundation. I'll also leave a link to the Missouri Real Estate Appraiser Commission because I am in Missouri. And again, my name is Kathy Allen Gray. I am a licensed real estate appraiser in the state of Missouri. I am the owner-operator of Ladies Appraisal Service. I am an independent fee appraiser. I make these videos for the general public. They are not to be construed as educational videos for the pursuit of licensure of real estate appraisal. They do not qualify for that. I have left links below of legitimate real estate appraisal schools that you may go to acquire your education and your experience. I wish you the best in all your endeavors, and if I can help you, please drop me a line. Peace.